The Walt Disney Company announced Tuesday that it was buying Lucasfilm Limited for $4 billion fucking dollars.
Yep. George Lucas cashed in, bulls.
God almighty. $4 billion. That motherfucker got $4 billion.
Yeah.
I bet T-Shirt Joe's head fucking blew off when he heard that.
Yeah.
Anyway, the seventh movie with a working title of Episode 7 is set for release in 2015, with Episodes 8 and 9 to follow.
It's a new trilogy.
The new trilogy will carry, the story of Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Princess Leia beyond Return of the Jedi, the third film released, and the sixth in the saga. So it's apparently not prequels. It won't matter what it is. It'll still suck a dick. After that, Disney plans a new Star Wars movie every 2 or 3 years, with Lucas will serve as the creative consultant. That's good.
I'm the creative consultant. Give me money.
So, God, I don't know if I want to read all this bullshit that they say about like how much they're blowing each other.
There's actually, if you go on YouTube, I think the Star Wars YouTube page, there's a video with George Lucas, and it's so hilarious. Because, like, okay, he goes, I said that I was not doing any more Star Wars movies, and that's true, I'm not going to be doing them. And he's like, but I did write drafts for 7, 8, and 9, and I'm going to be handing them over to Barbie or whoever the fuck that woman is that he's letting take over Lucasfilms.
Yeah.
So, this guy is so full of shit, okay. He pretty much said he was never, ever doing another Star Wars movie. That's never going to fucking happen. And maybe he's not technically doing it, but he wrote the goddamn drafts for him already. Like, it's so stupid. It's just so, I don't know.
Let me tell you something, honestly.
Yeah.
If I had $4 million or $4 billion,
$4 billion.
Yeah, $4 billion. If I had $4 million, I'd wipe my ass with anything you put in front of me. I'd wipe my ass with a little kid's head because it wouldn't matter. But if I had $4 billion, you could line up every nerd in the fucking world that had a problem with the Star Wars franchise, and they could all lick my ass because it doesn't matter.
You know what'd be killer, though? It's like George Lucas starts to do conventions, right? But he's the first guy that asks like $10,000 an autograph.
Sure, I'll sign autographs. I just have to have $4 million.
You know what I would do if I was George Lucas, though? This would be so fucking killer, man. I swear to God I'd do this, too. Because it would just be amazing. I'd show up to several conventions, but I'd refuse to sign anything Star Wars related.
I'd only sign Howard the Duck.
I'm not
Willow.
Anything at all. Yeah, I wouldn't sign anything Star Wars related to all people. God damn it!
You know what'd be killer though, man? I seriously, I guarantee you, if he did a show in New York City and charged $10,000 an autograph, he would get money. People would buy that.
You think so?
Yeah.
Like they pay $10,000 for his autograph?
Probably. There'd probably be some dumbasses that do it.
I don't know.
It's only going to be 10 G's. I've got $4 billion.
Man, I don't think I can handle another set of those goddamn movies.
Well, we're going to have to. Coming up in just, a little over 2 years. What I'm wondering is, though, since... does he still have any creative control over what they do with the series?
Well, he said he's the creative consultant.
On the new movies.
With the franchise?
Like
if they decide to actually put out
the original movies and remaster them, because Disney does. Look, Disney, when it comes to their Blu-rays and stuff, I'm not a huge fan of the movies or anything, but fuck, man, if Disney controls something and they release Blu-rays of it, it's going to be amazing. I mean, whatever kind of film department they have or restoration department they have, absolutely, like, they do some amazing work over there. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what happens out of this. And you know what? I mean, maybe a Star Wars movie that isn't directed by George Lucas, who knows? And it's a Disney production, man. And Disney, usually do kids movies, but 9 times out of 10, they're always pretty decent kids movies. I mean, they have quality control department over at Disney. It's one of the few studios that does do that.
Yeah, I mean, it could be better, I guess, but that would be the main thing for me, though, is you would be foolish if you own that to not release, like, new, unfucked with versions of
I think that was probably part of the deal,
Yeah.
But, I mean, who would have ever thought that completely came out of left field there. Like, I would have never, ever thought. But I guess, technically, he's kind of retiring, I guess, now. So he's like,
He needs to retire before he made those last batch of shit fests.
Yeah. Well, the thing he should have done is he should have let somebody else direct those movies.
Yeah, he
it
really
shouldn't
should've.
have been him.
It wasn't really the direction of those movies that was the problem. It was the writing and the fucking.
I think it was a little bit of everything that was the
the
problem.
CG and the writing that was the biggest
If
issue.
you had to go back, though, because I know we don't really talk about Star Wars on here much, and I do think, I honestly think we should review all of them at some point, do video reviews or something, because I just think it'd be something different that we've never done.
Right.
Out of the prequels, which one do you think is more like the original series? Because none of them are really like the original series at all, but which one to you is the better one or feels more like the movie, the original series, the original Star Wars movies?
None of them really. I mean, that feels like the original. Definitely not the first one. Not Phantom Menace.
Well, see, that would probably been my pick, just because it actually they filmed it in a lot of the same locations as I think the very first movie, which is technically the fourth movie now, I guess.
The only thing about that movie that is actually reminiscent to me of the other Star Wars movies is the villain is actually pretty good in that movie. Now, when you get on to Attack of the Clones, where you got fucking CGI Yoda fighting Dracula, I don't know, you really just lose all faith in that franchise. And I don't even remember the third movie. I know I watched the third movie. Was it The Revenge of the Sith or something like that?
Yeah, I think we saw it in the theaters.
I know I did, but I don't remember really anything about it. Those movies are just so forgettable to me. After I've watched them, I don't.
I think the whole thing where I kind of like the first one better than the other ones is because it was the last one that was shot actually on a location, rather than, because 2 and 3 were shot all green screen.
Yeah.
Every bit of it was bullshit. So I don't know. But anyway, that's interesting news, and I'm sure we'll probably be talking about some of the other shit that goes on, because there's not a whole lot of stuff going on in horror, but that's kind of an interesting story. I'd like to see where that goes.
I can't wait to hear the special Blu-ray edition of Willow, though. You know that's coming.